Okay, so here we are again in my browser, and in a second we'll go and look at some solicitors' websites and see what we think of those. When you're going to a website like you're looking for legal services, I would broadly break potential clients for legal services down into two: those with a load of money and those who don't have a load of money to spend on their legal services. If you're a very wealthy person, or if you're a big corporation, you can probably spend unlimited amounts of money on the best legal minds available. But for most private individuals, if you go looking for a solicitor, you're probably looking for qualities, or you're looking for their website to suggest the qualities of reasonableness, friendliness, competence you probably take for granted, but you probably, more than anything else, you don't want to be paying a fortune for the service. I mean, solicitors have a reputation for charging £150 for a letter. They're also professional people. They're prone to talk, or writing at least, in legalese, talking in legal and also, because of the nature of their profession, they may be abrupt and confrontational people. That may be a concern that you have. So when you go to a website for a solicitor, when you're looking for some kind of legal service or other, those may be the concerns that are uppermost in your mind. So bearing that in mind, let's have a look at some solicitors' websites and see what we think of them. Okay, so here's a website. It's a solicitor's website in Manchester. I've picked Manchester because I'm in Luton, and these are not potential customers of mine, probably. I mean, I build websites, or the agency that I have builds websites, so these are probably not going to be my potential customers. So looking at this one, what do you think? I think we see two smiling faces there, which is good. They both look professional. The guy's got a pinstripe suit. The girl looks like she's got a bit of business dress on there, and so that looks good. But then over on the left side we see this steel and glass structure. So that looks high-end and commercial at first glance. Scroll down the page a bit, go down below the fold as it's called, and we see again the same steel and glass structure, and on the right hand side something that looks like a cross between the Arc de Triomphe and Marble Arch. So to me this looks high-end, and since I don't have an endless pot of money to spend on having my will written or other legal service, I think this would be a turn off for me, and I would back off and look for something that looks a little bit more friendly. Here is a company called JMW in Manchester. First thing I notice about it is they're using the full width of my screen. This is a mobile responsive or mobile optimized website, so it's capable of adjusting its width to the device that you're using to look at the website. But to me it looks a bit wider than is normal or fashionable these days. You can see if I scroll down, it's very texty, so they're not selling me anything with pictures or big explanatory text, and they're not offering me any benefits. They're not saying, hi, we're the best solicitors in Manchester, or come and visit us, we're friendly and helpful. There are no benefits. You've just got this text slider that goes too fast to actually read anything. And then if you look at the big picture here, I think that is Piccadilly, Manchester, which I don't know Manchester well. I've only been there once, but I believe it's like a commercial and cultural hub of the town or city, and so this big image makes it look high-end. So again, for me, just to have a enduring power of attorney, or to swear an oath, or whatever it is I might want to have done, this possibly looks a little bit high-end for my particular taste. What do you think? Down to the next one. And this one, I would probably give them a ring, because here's my benefit. Your kind of law firm, see, it's not their kind of law firm, it's my kind of law firm. They're aiming it at me, it's for me. And they're saying, big on expertise, small on jargon, a friendly and professional service that's right for you. So that's what I want to know. They're making me feel better about calling them. And then you've got a picture of the girl with the smiling face. That's nice. And then you've got a couple of stock images that they've obviously bought to put on their website. So the one on the left, nice little family group. The one on the right, he looks like kind of a businessman off duty. He looks sharp and smart. So they're catering for all manner of things. And if you run your mouse over the buttons at the top, you can see there's some depth to the site. They do a lot of different things, so they're not too small, but they come across as friendly, and I probably would give them a ring. Next one. This one is interesting because they're using an image slider, and it looks to me to be timed at 3 seconds. But what I do like about this is they're putting text on the left side, residential conveyancing, and they're not giving me so much information in the text there that I can't simulate it in the 3 seconds available. I keep seeing image sliders on people's websites where they're putting a stack of text in there, and there's one in Luton. There's a big website that's recently been commissioned and put up. And their slider is timed at 2 seconds, and they're putting a stack of information up, and it's impossible to take any of it in before they move the slider on. So that's good. And then what I particularly like here, by the way, this is dead. For a 6 second impression, this is dead. I'm not going to be reading that in 6 seconds. But here, isolated on its own are testimonials, and this is on an animation, so it shifts from one testimonial comment to another. And they're written, these testimonials, by clients, so they're in people's own words, so they're from the likes of you or me. And they have quite a powerful effect. I like this one. John is worth every penny, and I would definitely recommend him to anyone buying a property in the future. See, the fact that it says John means it's personal. It shows there's a relationship here between the client and the solicitor, so that works well. The only thing that disappointed me on this, I wanted to then click on this box, this testimonial box, and see maybe a string of testimonials, but I couldn't do that, so you only get to see the ones that they've put on the animation. But I might give them a call, so not bad in my opinion. This is all subjective stuff, of course. Here's one that I wasn't all that impressed with, simply because it's a Luton based solicitor. It's not in the City of London, and they're flashing up images of New York, and then two guys possibly outside a bank in the City of London, and there's the High Court in London. So it looks high end, and maybe that's right for them, maybe that's right for their clients that they're going after. Maybe they're looking for big corporates and commercial clients. And in fact, the first line of their blurb here, AKL Solicitors are a specialist law firm providing bespoke legal services based in Luton Beds, providing tailored services to can't read that now because I've got something over the top of it, but an array of international clients in various different languages. So they reckon that they work for people all over the place, so they may explain the pictures, but they don't feel comfortable for me to get a little job done. I would probably anticipate that they would be too expensive, so they're off-putting in that respect. And I have to just point out this word here, differetna. Front page of your website, and you've got the word different spelt wrong, and you're a solicitor. So that doesn't augur well for when I ask you to write a letter for me, does it? So that's a major boob on their part. Have a look at another one. Foreman Laws. This is actually the solicitor that I've used most often. They're based in Hitchin and Welwyn Garden City. They've got this kind of image slider thing on the front here, but it doesn't really tell me anything at all. Certainly not any benefits, and it doesn't tell me what's in it for me. and it's a text-heavy website. Maps on the front page. I don't really think the front page is a good place for maps. And if I click on this slider, again, it's more text. No smiling faces. No benefits that shine out to me saying how friendly they are, how helpful, how efficient, or anything like that. So in the 6 seconds that I'm going to give them, it doesn't really deliver, although they are actually nice, friendly solicitors, so don't let that put you off in this case. This next one I liked. It's a solicitor in St Albans. I just liked this thing, this bit of copy on the in the header there. Most lawyers say they're professional, efficient and friendly. We prefer to let our clients say it for us. 98% of our clients would recommend us. So that's very powerful. It's answering all my concerns. They're professional, they're efficient and they're friendly. Not only that, but they've obviously got testimonials to say how good and friendly they are. That's exactly what I'm looking for. It then gets let down, however, when it turns out that what they're talking. So then we go into some text, right? So I don't like to see a lot of text on a landing page because it's dubious, as doubtful as to whether people are going to read too much of it unless they're somehow committed to doing so. But then what we find out is it's not a list of testimonials that you can read in people's own words. It actually relates to this client survey, and if I click on it, then I get to read the results of a survey, which may all be very positive, and I may actually take the trouble to read it, but it's not as convincing as customer testimonials in their own words, which are very powerful, and they're underestimated and underdone generally on very many websites. But I do like their bit of headline copy there. That's what most people should be doing because it's a benefit to me, clearly stated. Last one we'll look at. This is a solicitor in Luton, and clearly it's not an expensively produced website. It looks as if it's been made from a template, and it looks like maybe it's 2 or 3 solicitors, I don't know. It doesn't give the impression that they're a big outfit, and the fact that it's clearly not a terribly expensive website can work for them, because I look at this and I think, well, I bet they don't cost an arm and a leg. I reckon they'll probably be reasonably priced, so I would probably be quite comfortable phoning them based on this lower end website. But as far as what they could do and should do is concerned, again, they're not giving me any benefits. They're not telling me. All they say is welcome to Austin's LLP Solicitors in Luton and Berkhamsted, and then they assume I'm going to read all this. What they should have is something like the other site had, telling me how friendly and efficient they are, and maybe give me a link to some testimonials. That would make me feel happier. So there we have it. Well, I'll leave it at that. Those were my subjective impressions on a bunch of websites, and if nothing else, it will probably give you an idea of how people might be receiving your landing page on your website. It just gives you an idea about the things that perhaps you should be thinking about.